Hi guys, I'm Dave with Tactical Hyve.
Dutch here with you.
And today's video, we're talking about funny stuff that happens on target, right?
Nothing ever funny happens on target.
There's been some funny shit happen on target.
It's always serious.
Always, completely, yes.
No, there's some funny stuff that happens.
Hey, this video is brought to you by Dry Fire Mag. Really cool mag. We just got exposed this today. Yep. Miles just showed it to us. Super cool. The nice thing about this, when you put the mag in, your trigger resets. So when you're doing your dry fire training, you can keep working through the trigger.
Get out, yeah. So because this is obviously a thing, because this resets when you're doing dry fire, because as you know, regular pistol does not reset during dry fire unless you action the weapon. So yeah.
So if you're interested in this, you like these things, check out the link below and let us know what you think about it if you try them out.
A new tool in the tool bag for you.
Yep. I'll out myself here and tell you.
All right.
Like, I screamed like a girl one time. I screamed straight like a little bitch, right?
Do tell.
Yeah. So we hit the target, we prosecute everything. The snipers had engaged a bunch of guys off the rooftop.
You mean the SNOT team?
Yeah, the SNOT team, Sniper Observer teams. And there's a courtyard inside this house, right? So when you go through the gate, there's a courtyard where the stairwell goes up, and that's where they were just knocking these dudes down. And we get there, and we're doing sensitive site exploitation, SSC.
SSC.
Yeah. And we're pulling everybody out, and like the snipers are like, hey, we've shot 9 times. I'm like, well, I've only got 8 bodies. They're like, well, I've shot 9 times. I'm like, well, I've only got 8 bodies. And you're like, dude, I'm 30 feet away from them. I know I didn't miss. Right? It's like, okay. So then we started doing SSC again, doing a hard clear, deliberate through it. And I literally found at that stairwell that went up in the courtyard, there was a little cubby. I mean, it was like Harry Potter under the stairs type shit.
Oh, yeah.
I shit you not. And of course, now we're convinced. We're convinced that
that's where it is, right?
Yeah, he's got to be in there, right? We've looked all through the house. So I want to be the guy on the gun. So I'm up on the door, and they breach the door, and I swing this door open. This fucking chicken comes flying out at me like, rah! I scream like I don't know how I didn't shoot it, man. I really don't. I screamed like a little bitch.
What are you doing? Get it out of here.
I didn't live that down for like the entire deployment.
Oh my goodness. Screaming like a girl, my buddy Kevin. God bless him, great dude. On the AMZ hit, we had some kinetic hits there, and of course that's how we found him. We ended up picking him up, and but he was doing some bit and some other work afterwards, and he touched an electric line.
Ooh,
and he did the old girl scream there, and he would say, "I didn't sound like a girl, did I?" Yeah,
yes,
bro.
Yes,
Yeah,
of course you did. Yes.
Yeah. So, anyways,
you ever notice like in Iraq, you very rarely see cats?
Feline cats.
Yeah, like house cats.
No, yeah, no.
Almost rarely, never, right? Well, we're doing SSC again at this target, and in the back bedroom, when I peeled the curtain back, there was a damn cat in there. I was like, and it just happened. I looked down the hallway, and my canine handler is sitting in the hallway with his Mal sitting there, just kind of chilling out where everybody does SSC. I'm like, oh, watch this shit, it's gonna be great, right? So, and the canine handler, he's a little bitty dude, right? He's a little ranger, right? And he's got a 90-pound Mal, right? And he's got his leash on him, and I get the cat. I was like, okay, get ready. So I scare the cat out the door and down the hallway. Fliss ain't paying any mind at all. All of a sudden, the cat goes down the hallway. Rex has some shit to say about that. Rex goes after the feline, and then he drags John all the way down the hallway.
Cartoon.
Oh yeah, it was complete It was a yard sale. Complete shit show.
Oh, I'm gonna go back to AMZ. So before AMZ was killed, of course, there was a whole lot of AMZ sightings, constantly. Yep. And there was a protocol that you had to go through to be able to launch on that. And I don't know what the protocol was, right? But there were steps that you had to take. You had to have all these 4 or 5 steps to launch a force to get AMZ. And in one particular night, hey, the call comes out, hey, AMZ's up. No, it's not. Yeah. So it meets all the protocol, we have to go. So we heard that there was a convoy of black SUVs. We had the jihadi flag flying, all kind of blah, blah, blah. So I went to this target. And we get to this target. There's a typical, right off the street, gate. So there's a decent space between the gate and the front door. There's a couple cars up there. One of the clues right away that this was probably errant was there was a dog in the backyard. And jihadis don't dig the dog all the time, right? They're dirty animals. They don't like it. So, but we continued the process, and we had to do a thermobaric wake up kind of thing, or a breach to knock this big door down, and it was a big old door. And tragically, out of the dust, you can see there's a picture of the Last Supper in the main room.
Oh.
So these people were being targeted. But the funny parts were this woman comes out and in her New York accent, "You could have just knocked on the door. Why did you blow the door down?" I'm like, oh my goodness. So obviously they were targeted by somebody else. Some subsource knew that these people were Christians.
Yeah.
And, but to follow the protocol, your dog story of your cat, we had a dog, sent him in there, right, on the camera, doing the thing. He takes a giant crap in the back room. And are you joking me, right? So,
yeah.
I went, after we cleared the house, I go in there and I scoop up this crap and this a rug and I throw it over the wall. I throw it over the neighbor's house. They can have that. And we gave them a bunch of money and said, hey, you need to get the heck out of here. Right, you need to get the hell out of here because you are obviously being targeted. But God bless, when she came out and you could have just knocked on the door. I swear to God, I'm like, what the hell?
We did an offset. We did an offset infill. It's like a small little farmhouse, out in the middle of nowhere. And boys are doing SSC, and we're kind of walking, trooping the outside, just checking the perimeter. And I'm out there talking to one of the guys, and you could hear something we were standing was hollow, right? And two of my guys, we just knew we had found Jimmy Hoffa. He's got to be there. We found WMDs and Jimmy Hoffa.
Mm-hmm.
We just there's hollow shit out in the middle of the desert, So there just happened to be a shovel and a pickaxe sitting on the back porch.
Perfect.
Two of my hard chargers, they want to be the first one to find us. They get it, and they're cracking into it. And the whole piece of fucking plywood they're standing on cracks, and they slip into it. It was the shitter. It was where all their waste shit went outside. Yep. And they were standing in shit up to their knees. Yep.
Dogs come with humor. And I tell you that I was in the dog program for quite some time. And we had this idea that if you bring cats into the training area, then the dogs would be desensitized so you wouldn't have that problem on target, or other farm animals, you bring them on target. So one trainer who thought he knew everything, but then he knew a lot. I said, we're going to bring farm animals into the training area all the time, chickens or things like that. And then we'll conduct training with these variables in here so it'll be desensitized. So we do a rip, right? A rip is what?
Relief in place.
Relief in place, thanks. We're ripping out, and there's a chicken in the backyard at the MSS, the Mission Support Site, right here in Baghdad. And nobody tells me about it. I let my dog off lead to go take a dump.
Yeah.
He finds chicken, kills chicken.
Sure.
So immediately defeats all that. So I had to send photos back and say, this is what happens to your training tool, and you don't tell me there's animals in here. But even on target, though, it was a funny thing. But the lesson we learned was even on target, they didn't care about other animals. They really didn't.
Yeah.
But dovetailing into this, to see other animals on target, here you are, sophisticated ranger, special forces, you got a sophisticated land in a helicopter, move to a target, enter and clear in your sophisticated way. And as you're in there, there's a mallard going left to right in the, and so like we talked about in another video of this spatial awareness that you need to have, right? I'm rifle up going by point of domination, knowing that this is really important, but there's a mallard going over here, bro. What the hell is a mallard doing in here?
Yeah.
Why? There's other stories like that. A donkey in there.
Yeah. I had a guy, one of my saw gunners got ran over by a bunch of goats. And they were all huddled up underneath an overhead cover in the back of this farm, and there was a really low shelter. So he had to get on his knees. And of course, we're looking through our night vision, and all the eyes are glowing back. You can just see a bunch of eyes. I don't know if someone's hiding in there or not.
Gotta clear it.
Gotta clear it. And I don't know what the hell he was thinking, but when they pushed in with the dog to get the goats out, they just ran his ass straight over. We were
hooves and all, baby.
We were going in one night, and we put the ladders up, and we're going over the wall, and We used to have this guy in the platoon, his name was Dizzle. And after this deployment, after this incident, his nickname was the Dangling Dizzle, right? Because I'm sitting there I'm on the ladder and I'm pulling security down the street while they're climbing over. And he didn't make any noise at all, not a single noise, right? Just something didn't seem right. I looked back and he had missed a step and he's hanging upside down, right? And he's trying to get back up with his body armor and everything and he can't. So I'm like, I just easily just kind of pushed him back up. He gives me a thumbs up.
But he never said a word.
Never said a word.
Perfect.
So, super quiet.
Perfect.
Then he steps over on the inside of the wall in the middle of a 55-gallon drum. Ding! Like everybody's asshole just puckered. We just stopped moving. They didn't hear anything. We just continued with Charlie Mike. But
how many times did you go on target and you made a lot of noise and there was somebody in there sleeping still?
Oh, 100%.
How is that possible?
Yeah. Or just the noise, like, when you got your Peltors on, it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you're putting your chargers up on the door. The noise through your Peltors that
loud.
Velcro makes. Yeah. God, it's like,
it wasn't loud at all.
Yeah, right.
Not like the Hilo. Hilo just landed on the roof. Yeah. And they're still sleeping?
Still sleeping.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
How'd that happen? How is that possible?
Yeah.
Oddities. There's plenty of oddities. There's funny stuff. There's really odd things that happen too. I'll tell you an odd story. Well, we did a block of buildings. We did a whole bunch of buildings. And our Rangers are our donut force, of course, are right there hanging out. And we had finished this one building. Some of the guys were going outside and going across the wall to the buildings behind it. I went around. I had a dog with me at the time. I went around and I see a Ranger squad leader, probably team leader at the time. His name's John. And he stops me. He's really excited. Sergeant Moyer, whoa. I'm like, what? And he said, guy came out, had a gun. And I said, and you shot it. He goes, right out, Sergeant. I go, okay, hold this piece right here because we're going to end up doing the whole block. But as I walk around, 2 Rangers are talking to 2 other non-combatants, and there's a fire there in the corner of the wall. But it wasn't a fire. It was a dude.
Oh, shit.
He caught the dude on fire.
Oh, shit.
He shot the dude from me to you, and he caught on fire. And then later on during the whole after action was, how'd this happen? Was he shooting with tracers? No, he wasn't shooting with tracers. I cleared that whole area later, and it was filled with petroleum products and fuel, and he probably had fuel
all over him
on his dish dasha.
Yeah.
Comes out with a revolver. John filled him in,
yeah.
And that blast of his rifle cut him on fire.
Holy
but
shit.
the way he fell, he just fell. He get crumpled. He just crumpled him, and he just fell. And he was a small man to begin with, and then he just fell into this little tiny, and he was on fire. I was like, how about that? That dude's on fire.
Do you remember a canine named Woden?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah, that dog, he'd been shot like 3 times, right? One of the meanest dogs I've ever seen in my life. Like, meanest. Like, I had a brand new Ranger. Brand is his first deployment. It's actually his first mission he'd ever been on. And we had to ride the little Jenga buses up to the airfield to get on the helos, right? And everybody knows Woden's mean. He's muzzled up around us. This brand new private sitting on the Jenga bus and just happens to look down and make eye contact with Woden.
Oh, don't do that.
No, his muzzle struck him right in the face. Just pow, blew his nose up. And we didn't even got off the Jenga bus yet, and the kid's he's already walking wounded.
First mission.
Welcome
Welcome to the Rangers, my friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that dog was so fucking mean. Like, every other dog we put in there and we could call him out, right? Woden would never come out, ever. Like if he couldn't find something to bite in there.
He was gonna make his own thing?
Yeah, he'll go lay in their bed and he'll just destroy one of their pillows. Oh. Yeah, and he's happy as long as you start seeing fluff on the camera.
But he would clear with no muzzle?
Yeah, no muzzle.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We had a dog named Conan. And Conan found a way to masturbate.
What?
Masturbate.
Oh my God.
Conan would do it to himself. What? He would. First they told me, hey, we got this dog named Conan. He does this. I go, no, he doesn't. I'm from Missouri, right? Show me. I want to see. Yeah. So I go down to the team room, and then we're hanging out, whatever we're doing. Maybe it's an off night. I can't remember. It was up in Balad. And sure enough, somebody says, hey, look, there he goes. And he just would work it until he masturbated. He would do it. It was crazy, man, until he got off. I'm like, what is that? I've never seen that before. It's ridiculous. Nobody believed that.
Yeah, I wouldn't believe it. Yeah. Talking about the oddity stuff, right? The follow-on missions, the follow-on mission to the follow-on mission, And now we're on our 3rd target for the day. The sun's coming up, right? And it's all human intel driving us here, right? So we get there, we do a silent breach, but we missed the guy. The guy had already left to go to call to prayer, right? So we missed him, and we're like, well, shit, we've rolled all these strikers up in the street. Everybody knows we're there. So
oh, you think?
So what we did is like, well, we're gonna do a soft exfil. All right, so we had everybody half the element go get in the vehicles, and they just rolled off like they're like mission complete. Right, the rest of us stayed in his house. Nice. So took our helmets off, we're kicked back. It's sitting there going through his refrigerator, looking through his stuff. And all of a sudden you hear little sandals come across. Yeah, we're putting our helmets back on real quick. The door unlocks. He opens up his door. As soon as he closed the door, we just step in the hallway and just wave at him. He was like, he's so defeated. Like he drops his head and he goes, he's this loud, like, just puts his hands up.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's like a professional role player.
Yeah.
You've seen them before too, right? You're doing a VI, right? Vehicle interdiction. Helicopters, you're ready to go. Flying over the crest. You got car in the picture. Dude, they already got out and they're already hands up.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you've never been caught before, apparently. You know something's happening here.
Sure.
Maybe they've been caught. All right, so is that enough of bullshitting? That's enough.
Yeah,
All right, so,
time to go to work.
Yeah, it's good. People down there working, so we need to get our work on, right? So I hope you enjoyed it. It's just, obviously, there are serious things that happen on target and all throughout deployments, but really, when you really have to laugh about a lot of this stuff. For resiliency and survival, you got to laugh about a whole lot of stuff, and there's a lot of oddities that happen. Strange stuff happens all the time to us and to the enemy. Hey, if you liked it, say so. If you want to subscribe, do it, and you want to get notified when something comes up because it's what you want, so hit the bell. So for now, Dutch and Dave, out.
Yep. Thanks, guys.